Banana sour sourdough beer video number 3. Let's kick it. I'm Dr. Hans, this is DrHans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing. And here, lurking in the corner, we have Chewy, my friend. The idea for this experiment comes from the Dr. Hans Brew Crew and Daniel Larsson, who said,
what if you would co-pitch that sourdough starter?
So I did. So I co-pitched it with today's sponsor, Angel Yeast WA18. I will link down below to Angel Yeast Brewing product page. This is a wheat beer yeast which brings banana. You can read more about the yeast, but I have great experience with brewing Hefeweizen with this yeast to really get that banana beer, which I like. So I already brewed the beer, I'm gonna pour it. It was a little bit light on carbonation, so I had to play with the new features in the Agula F1, which I just put out a video about, so go and check that one out. And if you're interested in the Agula F1, I have 2 dedicated videos just about the brewing machine. We're here for the banana sour today. So it can be a little overcarb, maybe, we'll see. But I have a proper Hefeweizen glass which can handle good head. This is not a complicated recipe at all, but I can put together a recipe for you to go and download on my Buy Me a Beer page. You're welcome, thank you. Thumbs up, leave a nasty comment. So no hops this time, just as the first time. And if you haven't seen the 2 first sourdough beer videos, yeah, I made 2, right? Yes. And if you haven't seen the first 2 sourdough beer videos, I will link down below to them in the description. Also, link mania. So I started by rehydrating the W18 for it to get a really good start, and it got nice and foamy. Then I filled up the Agula F1 with water to the watermark. I pitched my sourdough starter and that WA18 wheat beer yeast. So now I can set this to 3-stage fermentation just on the screen here, so that's nice. So I set that up to ferment at 20 degrees for 2 days, and yes, the doctor will convert everything into birds and stones, thank you. 21 degrees Celsius for 2 days and 23 degrees Celsius for 7 days, and then it goes straight into cold crashing. The next day, this was already flying fermentation on the way. I knew that Angel Yeast W18 was active because I rehydrated and saw the reaction, and I also knew that my sourdough starter was active. After just leaving this for a week, I didn't think that was finished because I just glanced down there and it looked like I had a croissant from that angle, so I left it a little bit while longer. When I lifted up the cake to have a real peek in a BS video on my OnlyHands page, aka Patreon, I saw that fermentation was over long ago. So I cold crashed it and we tasted it, I think 2 days later, and it was a little bit low on CO2. But then I played with this machine with the new updates, and I think it might be the overcarb, but let's give it a pour and taste the beer. And I also think we need to hear some thoughts from the lab doctor today also. Let's pour the beer. Is this good content? Look at the head, just as expected. It's a little bit overcarved, but yeah, what can you say, everyone loves a good head. Please buy the t-shirt, or if you want instead an OnlyHands t-shirt, they are now available with some other cool merch. I filled up the merch store this Sunday with 50 new items. Check it out, link down below in the description. This will settle, so this has nothing to do with the machine. I screwed it up, but it was fun. This head though, now you can see it, this head is super tight, and this is the first time I used I didn't say that brewing, of course I used EME, I used wheat EME. Why didn't I say that? Sorry. This beer looks absolutely beautiful. You can see a little better there near the lights. Medium DME. I like the taste of it, but it doesn't look that good when you're just using the medium. But of course, if you would let it clear, it would look beautiful. But this looks like an amazing Hefeweizen, but it's not. It's supposed to be a banana sour. Let's give this one a nose. And what beer do you want to see next in the sourdough beer with you. Did I say that correctly? It smells super fresh. You can even feel like a fruitiness. I did not add any hops, remember that. Because I found in the last experiment, spoiler alert, you haven't seen the video, that the hops will not hinder the fermentation, but it will get less sour, and I did want this to be really sour. Feel it in my gum. That's the way I like my sour, bitch. Struggling with your brew and crying over bad fermentation? Call 1-800-MAN-UP-BITCH and I will set you straight. I'm so sorry. That's the way I like my sour. So we have some sort of like candy note to it. The result of this sourdough beer thing has been amazing. Starting to look like a proper heffer now. So let's dive in. Cheers. It's really sour. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's a super clean sour. It has no funk at all. It's not screaming of banana. Banana! But it do have that candy banana. In Sweden we call it skumbanan. Editing, can you put up skumbanan? Thank you. So like a foamy candy. So it tastes a little bit like that. But I have got more banana-y flavors out of this yeast before. But now I did the co-pitching thing, thanks to Daniel Larsson. Speaking of Brew Crew, I have a beer here from Andrew Rochelle also. We will have this in Only Hans video today. After we're done here, me and Shui. Thank you so much for your support, as always. We're also gonna hear about the numbers a little bit here, because this way, when we are replicating things more or less, it's a really good experiment base here. But I let the lab doctor sink into that one.
Oh, you're back again. Hopefully the third time is the charm and the doctor will stop sending his samples my way. But with that said, I am a little bit intrigued with these experiments, and speaking of measurements, did ferment out to 10-12 this time, so a little bit further. If that has to do with not using that medium DME this time, which I think it is, or if it has to do with the co-pitching of that WA18 Angel Yeast. I think it has more to do with that medium DME, but we'll see how this experiment unfolds itself over time. The other thing the doctor mentioned, that not getting that bananery that he was hoping for, at least not at those levels he was hoping for. My suggestion will to maybe next time give that W18 a chance before pitching the sourdough starter. So let's sit on the W18 for about 2 days for the esters to form, and then when you have given the W18 an advantage, pitch your sourdough yeast. So double pitching would be my best idea. I will leave you now. I have some things to get back to. Cheers.
Thank you. So this is as good as the other ones, they are just different. And we might need to come back to this, yes, as the lab doctor said, and do the banana sour version 2 to see if we can get some more banana. But it is there because you get that like candy flavor to it. But there are so many beers that I need to brew first before we can get back to this one. And if you're interested in wheat beers, just like me, here's another beer I brewed with WA18. Yeah, sneaky. Ha! Sure, do you have anything to add? Oh, då åkte Hans out.
That's all, beer bitches.